right, good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman, and as always with me today is Mr. Jake Peters, and you are listening to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 344, and we're a show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation. Before we get on with the show, I'd like to invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome. If you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PlayStation Network, you can find me at anchorless_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. As always, you can write our show at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. And most importantly, don't forget to share the show with your friends. And be sure you leave comments and rate the podcast as you see fit. And as a reminder, we're a video podcast as well. You can watch the show if you prefer over at our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to that. And if you're new or if you're a long-time listener, we have a Patreon. Patreon is a website where you can support your creators, your favorite podcasts and whatnot. And we have a page over there. So you can support our show for $1 a month. That Patreon tier is called the One and Only $1 Club. Head on over there, subscribe to it. It's patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome. $1 a month will get you early access to the show, usually each week's episode by a day or two. Not always, but sometimes. And we will also mail you a PS This Is Awesome sticker, which is totally dope. And then, you can like put it on your computer or something. Or maybe you could go to your favorite bookstore and just like put it in their bathroom on the urinal or something when you're pissing. And everyone will have to see it. Anyways, with that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing today? We're recording this on Monday. Real quick, the shows air on Wednesday for free for everybody. And they're typically early for our patrons around Monday or Tuesday every week. Go ahead, Jake. How are you?
I'm pretty tired, if I'm being honest. I had my first hockey game for my league on Friday night, and so I was up late then, and then I was hanging drywall all weekend. So my back is just killing me. But feeling pretty good otherwise. Did you hear about the Soulja Boy concert?
No.
There was who Soulja Boy is, right?
Yeah.
He did that song, whatever, in like the early 2000s that got really popular.
Yeah.
He did a concert in fucking Linesville.
No.
Yes. It was at this little bar in literally the middle of nowhere in between Linesville and Conneautville on Friday night. And there's a couple of guys that missed our hockey game because they were going to this concert.
That's so random.
So, for those of you who don't know, the place that I'm referring to is literally in the middle of nowhere. Like when you walk out into the parking lot of this bar and you look in every direction, it's like basically farmland as far as you can see. There's like a couple of houses around, but there's almost nothing there. And it's a very rural area and very conservative. So it is strange that Soulja Boy, of all people, plus like a couple of like supporting acts, came to this place to perform on Friday night. I don't know anything about the concert or how well it did, or if anyone, like, I'm just curious who was there, if anyone was there. Like, can you imagine being like a townie and going to the bar to like get your drink on Friday night, and you walk in there and it's like fucking a Soulja Boy concert?
Dude, here's the thing with living in a small town. And
dude, I don't know if you can see this in the chat, but I sent you the fucking flyer for the ad.
Yeah, I don't want to
move. Or for the show from Friday.
Junebug is opening. Abstract Theory and DJ Will was the after party.
Pretty fucking weird.
Country
like, I have no problem with that. I think it's kind of like, I don't know like what kind of music he does now. Maybe he's like one of those rappers that does like that, like country kind of stuff now. I don't know, but I think it's kind of cool. Like, it's pretty baller for him to like be willing to go to a place like this.
What kind of career does
now,
Soulja Boy have right now?
Well, you're right about that, but at the same time, it's like I'm sure he could probably play small inner city clubs and stuff and
Yeah,
be
he
totally
could definitely
fine.
open for somebody big. Yeah.
Right. So like the fact that he freaking drove dude, Lionsville, PA is an hour from anywhere with
Who
any amount of
booked it?
people. I have no idea. I was trying to figure out if maybe there was like an event going on and they booked him to like play the event, but I think it's just literally a booked show. So that happened on Friday. So that like literally when we were in the locker room getting ready and someone like was talking about it, I was totally taken aback. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's so random.
Well, I'll say this, dude.
Pretty interesting.
To piggyback on what you're saying, when you have things like this happen in a small town, like the general public just doesn't understand. Like when Signal Home did our music video shoot a long time ago, there was we just put a thing up in the paper. We're just like, hey, we're looking for extras for a music video shoot. We're doing it here, here, here. Then there's going to be a meet and greet with JT from Hawthorne Heights. You know what I mean? And this was like at their prime. But like we had so many fucking random people just showing up and where's the famous person? Who's the famous person here? Who is it? How do we get their autograph? I was like, he's like right there. He's like right standing next to you. And like, oh. Like they said, like they expect like famous people to look different or be different or something. Like it's weird. Like
not playing kickball in the freaking field by the barn.
What we did. And people just around here just don't understand like I don't know. They're just not in touch, dude. We're in a small town. They're just not in touch with shit.
It's pretty interesting to be honest with you. Like I said, I kind of love the idea of just
why not?
You know, going to some random ass place that you would never in a million years think to go.
Why not?
And play a show to a bunch of people that probably aren't really into your kind of music and just trying to show them what's up and see if they have any interest in it. I don't know. Like, I think it's neat.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got. How about yourself?
Well, not a whole lot. I made 2 purchases recently I'll bring up on the show, and then we can get on with the games we're playing. I get to start working from home briefly on the 30th, and I needed a new desk. Needed a new desk for my computer situation, right? And like all the shit you see on like, I don't know, Walmart or like even Amazon, they're just like fucking chintzy ass fucking desks that are just made out of bullshit things and aren't real hardwood that like are going to take, I don't know, 2 hours to put together with an Allen wrench that they give you. And like, that's fine. But oh, no, not me. I wanted to get something that could be versatile because I'm going to be teleworking for, I believe the way it work from home 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. So I wanted some sort of desk that could double as an actual fucking functioning workbench or something. Because it just makes sense. Like I don't need I don't need a computer desk in my house just set up somewhere. But I need a place to put my laptop and put like an extra monitor that I can work from if I need to, you know. So I looked into sit-stand desks, and they have like desks that are sit-stand desks. And those are like, they can get kind of expensive, but they're not really nice still. And I found at Home Depot, Husky makes a workbench that's adjustable height with a crank on it. And it's a hardwood top. It's about 5 feet wide and about 2 feet deep. And it's on casters that lock. And it's got 1 drawer. And I'm like, that's fucking dope. I'm going to buy that thing. So that's coming tomorrow. That's going to be my computer desk. And it's going to be rad because it'll double for whatever the fuck I need it for. Whenever I need a fucking desk. You know what I mean? It's going to be great. Wheel it around. It's going to be nice. So that was my purchase. One of my purchases. The other purchase I made is I've been thinking about, like, the listeners know that I'm into 3D printing, and I have a resin printer, and the resin always, it's too brittle for any kind of real functioning thing. Like, if I want to make, like, I don't know, like a 90 degree, some sort of angle thing to screw into something to set a shelf on. You can't do that with resin. It'll break under any amount of weight. Like, and it's chonky and resin's expensive. So they were selling the what was it? Is it Anycubic? I think it might be Anycubic. Let me see real quick. I'll tell you in 1 second because I just got an email from them. They were selling the Anycubic $10, and it's a fast FDM printer, and you don't need to ventilate it because it's FDM. They do say that it's loud as fuck because when it moves that fast, the fans have to be doing what the fans do. But I also want to print like some terrain and dungeon tiles and shit for my board game group, but I don't want to just do it in resin for two reasons. Number one, it's expensive to do it in resin. And number two, it doesn't need to be super detailed. It's just like a grid piece. And FDM printers have gotten really, really good. Even if you're using like a standard nozzle or whatever, the print times have been exacerbated. They're faster now. They sped them up. The fans work harder. They're more reliable. They have like auto features now that they didn't have before. So they're just a little better. So I bought one of these and it's coming tomorrow also. So I'm excited to fuck with that. And I'm going to try to build some practical shit. Make some shit, dude. Design some shit. It's going to be fun. In fact, I have a patio table. It's a glass table. And some of the clips that go in there are just through years of being in the sun have kind of like cracked and stuff. And now the glass is starting to slip. I just want to make some simple clips to replace these ones and just see if I can print them at home because that would be kind of fun. So, and I want to print some terrain. And then Halloween's around the bend. Maybe I'll print some cool Halloween themed shit to just put up around the house. That'd be fucking rad. So, anyways, I'm excited. But yeah, I got the Anycubic Cobra 2, or maybe it's Python. I think it's Cobra with a K. Cobra 2 Pro for $100 or $200, $199. So, I mean, I've been playing gigs all the time, and I mean, I make that much and more when I go play these solo gigs, like one gig. And she's like, I might as well just fucking treat myself to something cool to fuck around with. So, especially in the wintertime, this stuff doesn't need to vent. You know, the FDM stuff doesn't. Whereas the resin's a little more toxic. So, anyways, those are my two purchases. I'm excited for them. The one thing I'm going to print, for certain, I'm going to print. If you go into Thingiverse, they have a VR2 headset stand. I'm fucking printing one. It's going to be rad.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, one of the things that I would print, like, if you were to buy one of the new PS5s, would be, like, print the
stand.
Print the base for it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to buy that fucking $30 steel ring, which is insane. So, that's cool. So it's not PLA, it's something else. Oh, it does PLA as well.
Yeah, it's PLA. They're called FDM printers.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one actually can do a multitude of different substances, but it can't do resin. So I think I watched a YouTube review. I don't know a whole lot about them, but it comes on spools. And I think there's like rubbery PLA, and there's like, it's called something else. There's stuff that has a little more give. You know, so I could probably print like motorcycle mounts and stuff for you for like cameras and shit if you want. Like if you find designs. Think of my Thingiverse has like tons of free shit on there.
It just boils down to how strong it is, because
Right.
a lot of that 3D printing material, regardless of what it is really good. I mean, it's gotten a lot better, but it's still like if you put any like force on it with a screw or something, it just breaks. So I don't know, because I was actually thinking about I have, this is really hyper specific, but on my track bike there are these block off plates because you don't have mirrors on a track bike, and there are these block off plates that basically go over where the mirrors used to be, and one of the ones on my bike cracked in half and broke off.
Oh yeah.
And so it's literally just like an oval plate with 2 holes in it that's like countersunk so that the screws sit flat on the face whenever they go through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna try and see if I could make a model of one, just to see if I could, and maybe figure out if there was a way to print it rather than because those are the types of things where it's like you go to buy it online and it's like fucking $50 or something.
That's ridiculous.
It's like it's an oval piece of plastic with 2 holes in it. Why are you charging me $50 for this?
Just like standard PLA, if it's thick enough, will be fine. Because you can even design it with screw holes in it. You know, like pilot holes and stuff. People do that shit all the time. They're always screwing this shit. Like the PSVR 2 headset stand has one. Has a couple screws on the base. It's 2 separate prints. It's like the top part and the bottom part. And then the bottom part, they give you options. You can have a more weighted one. You can have one that says Sony on it. You can have one and you just screw it. And they also have like DualSense holders and stuff that clip onto the edge of your desk and stuff. They're just fucking dope, dude. These printers are cool because they're practical. So if you're not into like board gaming and shit or printing like highly detailed stuff, the quality on these prints are really good. They can go as low as I think 0.5 millimeters or something now per layer. Or something.
That's dude, I can't believe how cheap this shit has gotten.
What, the 3D printing
in the
shit?
past? Yeah, in the past few years.
Oh,
like this printer's, so you said it's $200. I mean, that's insane.
From Anycubic, yeah. Yeah, you just go to their website and it's free shipping also.
And it's I'm just looking at it on the website right now. It's like a 10 by 9 print bed.
I don't know if it's that big. I don't know what it's 250 millimeters or something. What is it?
250 millimeters is just under 10 inches.
Yeah, that's about right.
10 inches is 254 millimeters.
Yeah, so that's the height. I think the 250 is the height up and down. The Z axis, yeah.
So X and Y is 220. I mean, that's still basically 9 inches, a little less than 9 inches.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's pretty awesome. Because when I've always thought about maybe getting one of these, but then I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I would do with this thing. Like I need to have like a backlog of just projects that I want to do.
Dude,
before I commit to buying one.
It's just fun to fucking do. And it's cool to have them. Like, it is what it is. I mean, you can print, like, anything. Anything that someone else has made that's online, you can just grab the file and do it. And then you just have the thing.
Well, I just like the idea of, like, just having an idea of some random thing and then just, like, or, like, a little model or something and just making it.
Yeah, being able to like prototype something.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm stoked about that, dude. We'll see how much problem it gives me. Like, I hear this one works pretty good out of the box. You just have to assemble it. They say if you've never assembled one before, it takes about an hour to put together. But that's part of the fun, I think. Connecting the wires and getting it all fucking set up is kind of cool. But they do say this one's loud, but I don't really care. You know what I mean? I don't care at all. Like, dude, just the shit that I'm gonna be able to make is gonna be so cool. That I don't really even care. And like a spool of
what's the camera for?
You can monitor your print while it's printing remotely on an app.
Okay.
Because like if it does happen to fuck up and spill, you're just gonna have a pile of fucking plastic and goop everywhere. So like, it's a nice way to like check up on it. But like, I don't know. They say that really, if the file you're printing is good, and most of the stuff you download online is already vouched for, you know, that you don't really have to. Like, I'm looking. They have like Last of Us dog tags and stuff you can print. It's cool. I mean, I could do that stuff on resin too, but the FDM, like I said, is just more. It's more hardy, way more hardy than the PLA opposed to the resin prints.
Just lower detail, right?
Yeah, but not. I mean, yeah, but it depends on how long you want it to print. Like, you can do really, really, really thin layer lines, and then the print just takes maybe double the time. This one can print the one I picked up can print quite a bit. Can print pretty fucking quick. But it's not by any means the fastest printer they have out now, but it's fast enough for what I want it for. But so it'll just take longer, you know, the layer, the depth of the layer of PLA you're throwing. You know, if you tell it to do just really, really, really little bit the whole time to make the detail higher, you know, it's really about threading that needle. Like, you know, how fast do you want it versus how pretty do you want it? And if it's really just like a fucking square that you're gonna bolt into something, it doesn't fucking matter how fast it prints it.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. But anyways, those were my two exciting things. Yeah, dude, that's about all I got. So let's talk about, every episode we talk about games that we are playing, and we're gonna get into that real quick. I've been talking at length about Space Marines, Warhammer 40K, Space Marines 2. And I'm guessing we're going to talk just a little bit more about that. And Jake, I saw you were in VR World on Discord, so it told me you were using the PlayStation app or something on there. I don't know what the fuck it was saying, but anyways, I'm guessing you're playing something. But I've pushed quite a bit further into Space Marines 2 since the last episode. I've gotten to the new enemy types. I do appreciate that they did that. I like the twist. I don't know how far along in the actual campaign I am. I'm dying a lot less now, so I'm getting the handle of it, of the action, the combat, and whatnot. So this game's fun, man. I haven't done much of the online shit. It's a good game. My opinion of it doesn't really change. There are a lot of missions, like you're saying. It was almost like they were running out of ideas how to keep it interesting, and they were just like, all right, protect this, hold down the fort while everybody rushes you, or get all the bad guys off of this thing. And then it's just like, you know, you get a couple moments for traversing and running into bad guys in different scenery, and then it's like, hold down this fort or attack this guy, or, you know, that's pretty much the brunt of the game. But the heart of it is in the world building, and I think it is still very fun to play. The gore, the action, getting into a rhythm is fun. The story, I think a lot of people have said this already on different websites and stuff about the story. Like, there's a story here, but I'm starting to get lost in the weeds with it. Like, I'm not really sure what's happening. Like, I don't know the factions well enough to really understand. You know, they're talking about Astartes and the machine. What are they called? I know Fritz painted a whole bunch of these guys. I forget, Adeptus Mechanicus guys, and like you're talking about the heretics, and you know, all these weird shit things going on. And then you have your alien guys. I forget what they're called. We got it right once before on the show. I can't remember what they're called though. The Tyranids. Yeah, that's what they are. You get Space Marines. You got the Death Watch, and you got all these fucking things, and you have your who are the guys that are like the doctor guys? I forget what they called them. The doctor Space Marine guys. But anyways, it's just like there's so much shit going on, and
apothecaries.
Yeah, the apothecaries. Thank you. There's just so much shit that like I'm kind of in the weeds on it all, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here for this, but like I can't even. I can only fake to pretend to understand what's happening at this point. I mean, I have an idea, but I wouldn't really be able to tell you on the podcast the gist of the story right now. But I'm having fun playing it. Jake, what about you?
So I'm still playing Space Marine, but I took a break for a little bit, and I've been playing Astrobot a little bit more. Just kind of bouncing back and forth, but I've just been in a little bit more into Astrobot recently, trying to get a little bit farther into the game and do some of the like
excuse me,
different challenge missions and things like that. Because it's one of those things where it's like when I play Space Marine, it's like I pretty much know what I'm gonna get when I boot that game up.
Yeah.
But like when I play Astrobot, I'm surprised by something almost every time I play a new level. And so there's something about that is appealing to me. And so I've been playing that quite a bit. And I'm like, I've finished the first and second, like the first two like galaxy areas, and I'm in the third one, and I've been enjoying my time. But I've also been kind of playing a little bit more of Half-Life Alyx. The reason why Discord said that I had like the PlayStation VR app or whatever is because it was just like running. Like it's just always running in the background when I have Steam open because you have to have that running to play a VR game. So I just never closed it. But yeah, so I haven't played that in a couple days, but still enjoying it. It's I got to a part that was pretty spooky, which is kind of cool. Really enjoying it still, so gonna get back at that and probably finish that hopefully sometime in the next couple of weeks. I have no idea actually how long it is, so I'm not sure. Let's see, Half-Life Alyx, how long to beat? 12 hours. Yeah, so I've got a long way to go. I'm probably only maybe 3 or 4 hours into it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Nothing new to say, really.
All right. Well, cool. Well, we'll keep it moving. I'm glad. Oh, my notes are frozen up. There we go. We're back into the notes. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're still playing stuff. I'm playing stuff. Progress, good. Everything is great. Let's get into the news a little bit. Let's talk about some news. Every episode, we kind of go through some news points that stand out, jump out at us, have some sometimes quick, sometimes not so quick discussion about the topics. And then after we get through some of these news points, we're going to talk about some new games that have come out and maybe are coming out. And then we'll wrap things up for the episode. But let's get right into the first point of news. Jake, we got some absolutely stunning images of the 30th anniversary PlayStation Direct coming September 26th. So for anyone who doesn't know what this is, PlayStation dropped this really beautiful set of PlayStation themed, which is weird to say because they are PlayStation, but PlayStation themed PlayStation stuff. So they have the regular DualSense, they have DualSense Edge, they have the PlayStation Portal, they have the PS Pro, and the PS5. Neither Pro nor the PS5, I don't think, come with a disc drive. They will be selling the disc drive with a cover that'll be provided to match the color of the console. So the PS5 Pro bundle will come with the cover for the disc drive. The PS5 Digital Edition will also come with a cover that you can put on the disc drive later should you buy one. So that's nice that they do that. These are all coming with 30th anniversary button faces. It's that slate gray, that light, maybe lighter gray color that we're familiar with. There's a charging cable that looks like the controller cord for the old PS1, which is awesome. Dude, this thing looks really sick. And the box even, I don't know if you saw the boxes. They look like the old PlayStation boxes.
Yeah.
They put a lot of TLC into this. And, you know, it's been 5 console generations since the launch of PlayStation. And this thing's going up for pre-order on PlayStation Direct, and it's going up on September 26th, which is this week. You're probably listening to the show, if you're not a patron of the show, you're listening to this on Wednesday the 25th. This thing will drop midnight tonight if you're listening on Wednesday. And it'll be, I think it's midnight. I have no idea. But there's only going to be 12,300 PlayStation Pro bundles. And the problem with the Pro bundle is it's coming with the DualSense Edge controller. It's also coming with a DualSense controller, a charging station, a stand, and the cover for the thing. And I think it comes with some other doodads too. There are like some cable clips and shit that like look like the different button whatever insignias. You can buy the PS Portal separately. The DualSense you can buy individually. The DualSense Edge you can buy separately. And then your other option would be to buy the digital edition of the PS5, but that is also a bundle. It says bundle, but it doesn't say anything else. It's just that it comes with a DualSense controller and anniversary stand. So there's been some leaks. Real quick, we'll get to price real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So, the DualSense price has leaked for the anniversary edition, and everybody's going goo gaga over this. They're saying that the DualSense is going to be $79.99, I believe, and we know that they've updated the price of the DualSense anyhow, so that kind of falls right in line. We don't know what the Edge is going to cost or the Portal is going to cost, and we don't know what the Pro bundle is going to cost, but the PS5 is going to retail for $499, which is $50 more than the regular digital edition for the PS5. Is it worth it for, I don't know. And then one last point on this is that there are scalpers, Jake, who are online, and they're saying, give us $10,000 and we'll do everything possible to attempt to get you one of these things. So what the fuck is happening in this world? So the fact that there's the Pro, there's only going to be 12,500 of these available, 12,300 available in the world.
Yeah.
You're never going to fucking get one. But are you interested in buying any of this shit?
Dude, I'll be honest, that the PS5, the 30th anniversary PS5 Pro looks fucking awesome. And I notoriously on this podcast have expressed the fact that I hate the fucking way that the PS5 looks. I think it's ugly, it's big. I've commented on its shape before. It's gaudy. I don't like it. However, change it all to gray, put these little badges on it, and kind of make it a little bit more subtle, a little bit more flat in color and everything. And suddenly, and honestly, like the new design has toned down sort of like the bulkiness of the design.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's a good looking console. Do I like it more than the base PS4? No. But I think that it's pretty sleek, and I love like they've got these like they're doing these things with it that are very premium. Like on the Pro version, I mean, where they're like printing the serial number on like one of the little grate fins in just like a really subtle location where you can find it if you want. And they have like the little badge on like the bottom corner of the console that is not normally on there. And they like the embossment on the plastic that normally is just like the sacred symbols is they put a 3 between the X and the O, so it says 30 in the middle of the sacred symbols, which is kind of interesting. I love that the controllers they put the not just the color of them, but the fact that they put the colors on the PlayStation button and they put the colors back on the sacred symbols,
like
buttons,
the red, yellow,
the
teal,
face
and
buttons.
blue.
Yeah, and on the Edge controller, the triggers have like embossment on them, which I don't know how I would feel about that when I was playing it, but it might actually feel pretty awesome. I gotta be honest, man. I don't know if I would buy one, but just because I don't know if my internet's good enough to do it, but or my home network's good enough to do it, but that streamy thing,
The Portal.
the Portal looks fucking great.
Yeah.
How it's like the screen's like all black, it like meshes with the gray really well. It looks really good. So I'm gonna sit here and say that like would I love to get my hands on one of these PS5 Pro bundles? Yeah, I'd love to, even if it costs like $1,000 or something.
It'll
like
be like
that,
15,
which it probably
dude. It'll
will.
be like 13 or something crazy.
I don't think it'll be that. You might be right, but I think if you add all this stuff up together, it's like $1,000 or $1,100 or something. So, but it's like, dude, if you got one of these things, you could literally just put it in your closet and never open it if you already have a PS5. And then, is it going to be worth, $1 million? No, but I guarantee you, like when they first launch, they're going to be being scalped for a lot of money. And it's, I don't know, like there's no way. There's only 12,300 of these things. I bet you there'll be a million people
awesome.
waiting in the queue. Well, that's the thing, is that like I think that my compromise is going to be that if I can get one, I'm going to buy just one of the base DualSense controllers.
Yeah.
And that, because I kind of want to get a new controller anyway, and I didn't buy some of the other ones that I thought looked cool, like the Concord controller or the Astrobot controller. I thought both looked cool. But this would be like the perfect opportunity for me to buy one of these and just really enjoy it that way. Because I could spend $80 or $85, kind of be a part of the
club.
Conversation, be in the club, but not necessarily have to spend, because I'm not going to buy the regular PS5. It's like, I don't know, I have a PS5, like I don't need a fucking another regular PS5. So I don't know, I have to see. And it's going to be weird because the PlayStation 5 Pro, like the standard edition, not the 30th anniversary, but the standard edition of the PS5 Pro also goes up for pre-order the same day. So I don't know what's going to happen. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation Direct's website just fucking breaks. Because it's gonna, dude, you know how many people are probably gonna be waiting to try and buy one of these things? It's gonna be like, old ladies getting trampled at fucking Black Friday, but the internet version. And that's just kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
I know it. Maybe we're overplaying this because we're, I guess, fans of the console and into the industry. But
it's really not a whole lot.
I don't know,
of
man.
Consoles, dude. 12,300.
No, man, dude. Think about it. There's what, like 60 million PS5s right now, and basically this is a fraction of 1% of total PS5s on the market will be these consoles. And by the time the PlayStation 5 is done, they probably will have sold north of 100 million units. So it's conceivable that this is like a 0.01% of all PS5s will be these fucking 12,500 units. And that's something special if you're able to get your hands on one. So the thing is that like if I bought it, would I keep it sealed in the box? I don't know if I could resist opening it and looking at it. I think I might like just open it up and look at it. Whether or not I would actually use it as a console is a completely different story. But I don't know. It would be cool if they would just like sell the side panels. Like, cause if I could just buy those gray side panels and put them on my PS5,
I'll print them for you.
That'd be cool. Can you print stuff that big?
Maybe not that big.
But like, I get that like it won't have the gray center main section that the anniversary edition does. You would still have the black, But even still having the black glossy center with like the flat gray side pieces, I think would look dope.
Yeah, look at the PS Portal.
And
That's what that is.
right. So I don't know, man. I'm really, really amped on this. When I saw the 30th anniversary thing, I was like, oh, okay. And then like I watched the video because I kind of caught it when it first popped up. I watched the video and I saw them sitting there. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they started like zooming in on all of it and like talking about all the little like details of it. And I was like, oh man. I mean, I'm sure even in person it'll look even better, but when they zoom in on it on the video, it looks fucking rad.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm gonna try and get a controller anyway, and you know, I don't know that I need to spend $1,000 on another PlayStation, but we'll see.
Yeah, I like the way it all looks. Fuck, I just bought a 3D printer. I don't know if I can afford a controller now. No, I'm kidding. I'll probably definitely try to get a controller for sure. All right, let's move on to the next point of news here, Jake. The with the announcement of the 30th anniversary PlayStation Direct coming 9/26, we also got another awesome point of news. And so there's going to be a state of play finally. And this is exciting. A little PlayStation state of play has been confirmed for recording this Monday, tomorrow, Tuesday, 9/24. If you live in our area, it's going to be at 6 o'clock p.m. for everyone in wherever we live. Eastern Standard Time, I think is what it is. But that's exciting. And I don't know what they're going to talk about. They're definitely going to talk about the 30th anniversary stuff. That's going to be featured for sure. They're probably also, I don't know if they're going to talk about Concord. But I do think we're going to rope in another side news story here real quick. Jeff Grubb has come out and he said, yeah, Days Gone is definitely getting remastered. So my guess is he wouldn't have been so open about this. He probably knows it's going to get announced at the State of Play or something. So my guess is we're going to get a little look at Days Gone remastered at this State of Play. And we'll see what that does for people. Days Gone runs amazing on the PS5. 60 frames per second. It's a fun fucking game. It's actually a really good game. Better than most games that I've played. But it didn't really do critically well, I don't think. But I don't know. It's a good game. So anyways, I'm not entirely excited about a Days Gone remastered. But Jake, what do you think we're going to see at this State of Play tomorrow?
I don't know, man. It's supposedly going to be like 30-ish minutes, which is pretty long for a State of Play. But I don't know, like, this is where it's weird because they don't do they had the last time they used the showcase messaging, it was a little bit of a letdown. But now, like, there's a State of Play coming and it's freaking half an hour long. So what is this? Like, is it just going to be just a bunch of shit we already know about? If that's the case, then I don't really care. But if it's going to be, like a Days Gone remaster, that's kind of interesting. I've never played Days Gone. I've always been interested in playing it. I've heard it gets a little long in the tooth. But I've never really gotten down to playing it.
Yeah.
Are we going to see some other stuff, like hopefully maybe some new games that might be relevant with the PS5 Pro? Maybe they'll talk about ports for some of their existing games, or maybe they'll talk about a new Ghost of Tsushima game or whatever they're going to call it. Are they going to talk about shit like what Naughty Dog's doing or what Bend is doing or what... I don't know that they're going to... Every time I'm like, yeah, they're going to talk about it, I'm second. They don't talk about fucking anything.
Right.
So,
it's never anything I really want to hear about.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to learn about the new fucking Honkai Star Rail game or whatever? Probably. It'll probably be shit like that and freaking,
maybe we'll
whatever.
Get some marathon shit.
Maybe. I mean, that would be kind of interesting. It would be neat to see, like, if Marathon's supposed to come out next year and it's such a big It's an important game, I think, for Bungie, given everything that's happened with them. It would be cool to see Marathon. It's given the type of game that it is, even though I'm a big Bungie fan and I like Destiny and I like Halo a lot. I don't know that I'm going to play it, even though I think the visual, the art style of that trailer was fucking rad. I'm not a PvP person, so an extraction shooter just has no interest for me. But I'm trying to think of what else they could possibly talk about. I mean,
maybe they will drop something like something Ben's working on or Blue Point or some shit, man.
Maybe like a third party thing, like maybe they'll announce the new Persona game or something. Like that would be rad if they announce the new whatever the new Persona game is going to be, Persona 6 or whatever.
Dude, it's time they fucking drop something. They got to drop something.
That's obviously third party.
I'm also trying to take into consideration the Halloween spirit.
Stellar Blade DLC?
Yeah, Halloween coming around. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something scary, maybe a new Resident Evil something.
Yeah, we'll probably see freaking Silent Hill 2 for the 25th time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some Slitterhead because that game is supposed to be coming out soon.
Little Nightmares.
What about that? Maybe we'll get an update on that Pragmata game or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Which had kind of like a spooky vibe to it. Maybe some Days or Death Stranding 2. Like I don't know. I get the feeling that. Like, I would hope that if there was something big at this thing, that they would preface it by saying we're gonna show off some new stuff and some updates on some old stuff. But it just seemed like, just like see what's going on and updates on games. It's just like, I mean, I get that they don't want to overhype it because they're on top of the world. They tend to get slammed if it's not exactly what people want, and maybe they don't want to deal with that. So it's probably better off for them to be like, this is kind of whatever, and then they just like one more thing a fucking first party game or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe they got some new peripherals or something to show. I doubt that, but I'm curious. It happens tomorrow, so I guess tomorrow from the time we're recording this. So by the time the listeners hear this podcast, they'll know what happened at the State of Play. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that I'm pleasantly surprised. Maybe Uncharted game. That would be kind of cool if we got some kind of a sneak peek into Uncharted. Maybe like some gameplay of the Horizon Lego game. Maybe there's something there. There's a lot of things that they could do. There's actually enough that they could do that I almost feel like we're just going to get updates on shit we already know about. But I would be pleasantly surprised if we got some new games from the first and second party.
Yeah. Well, I was on Reddit, how I always get on Reddit, and they had a funny thing that people were just upvoting to hell, and it was like the latest State of Play topics have dropped, and it was like this pseudo screenshot of somebody's computer. Marvel's Wolverine, Marvel's Spider-Man 3, The Last of Us 2 reimagined, The Last of Us Part 1 remastered, Hollow Knight 2 The Silk of the Song, Bloodborne Kart, Bloodborne the Movie, Horizon Zero One, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, Horizon Zero One 2, Horizon Forbidden East, Horizon Forbidden West Remastered, Astrobot Concord 2. It's just hilarious. It's just like this little thing where there's more shit, but you can't read it because it's like clipped off. It's like, oh my god.
It would be so funny if they did a Last of Us Part 1 remastered.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be fun? That would be the fourth time they will have released that game.
Last of Us Part 2 reimagined. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can't even. Just give us something else, like let's just see something worthy.
Maybe Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Maybe we'll see something about that because that's coming out soon, I think. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that they could talk about. There's so much stuff that we don't know that they're doing, so who fucking knows? Maybe they'll come out and they'll be like, check it out, it's like a Resistance trilogy. And then it's like, then we have something to be stoked about. But we all know they're never gonna fucking do that. So
Yeah.
I would, at this point, I would believe that we would get Richard 2 before we'd get the Resistance trilogy. But I don't know.
All right. Well, I got some more news here. And the next news point is about ANNAPURNA, which is a studio behind Stray. All of the staff of publisher ANNAPURNA have resigned. They all left, every single one of them, which is strange. So according to Push Square, there is an ANNAPURNA kind of empire going on. But the problem is, so this is from the publisher, they still plan on moving forward. And they were working on an in-house game being developed for Blade Runner. I don't even remember this. Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth. It was announced for consoles. And IGN had a report on this. That ANNAPURNA is going to continue developing this title despite the quote-unquote small setback. Which is interesting. So they say the whole situation is a baffler, but now we're focused on moving forward. We've had really great conversations with an overwhelming majority of our existing development teams and are grateful for their partnership. If our inbox is any indication, a ton of developers continue to want to be a part of what we're building, and we look forward to seeing their pitches. We've also had an influx of quality job applicants and are excited to build a team that is passionate about our mission to tell original stories that aren't being told elsewhere. P.S. We're hiring. So apparently the reason for the mass resignation was that there were negotiations to spin off into an independent entity. And those negotiations just didn't work. So all the staff that were used to being in ANNAPURNA the way they had been, now this empire's in place, they were like, well, we should just spin off and do our own thing. Didn't happen. All the staff leaves. Is this a situation like in The Office, the TV series, where they spin off and start their own paper company for a while? Are all these employees going to start their own studio now? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
They might. I mean, I don't know. I honestly have no idea why they must have a reason for wanting to do this. I mean, they must not maybe don't like the direction that the parent company is taking them in, or like the decisions that they're making or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, maybe they're being irrational, but usually someone being irrational doesn't result in the entire fucking studio resigning. Like you could see there being like someone doing it and then like a bunch of people that were close to them doing it to kind of make a statement. But like the fact that the whole fucking studio left is pretty gnarly. I mean, it means maybe that something was going on that they didn't really approve of. And I don't know. I mean, that's unfortunate, but hopefully they'll start a new studio if that's their plan, and they'll make something out of it, and maybe they can come up with a new game. A Blade Runner game. Do we know what kind of game it was going to be?
No, I don't think we do. I don't think it was that far along.
So I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but I recently read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the book that Blade Runner is based off of. And after I read it, I was like, oh, okay. I want to rewatch the movie because I haven't watched the movie in like 15 years. I don't remember really caring all that much about it. But now that I've read the book, I want to watch the movie again and see what's up. I got to say, just as like a little sidebar, Blade Runner is one of the most overrated movies of all time. I will say this. It is a visual and cinematic masterpiece. The visuals of the movie are incredible. And I can imagine even for that time, the amount of like special effects and the way that they did the shots and the sound and like the like the wardrobes and everything like that is unbelievable. But like the way that the story is told and like the acting in it is like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought it sucked. But that's a little bit of a digression. Didn't mean to drag us off topic.
Did you watch the Blade Runner with Gosling?
I have it queued up.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
I want to watch it because I've heard it's pretty good.
Oh, so fucking good.
And I just haven't gotten around to it because it's long. It's like 3 hours long.
Oh, it's amazing.
And so I just need to set aside the time to be able to sit and watch it. I do really want to watch it, though.
Yeah. All right, very good. Well, next news point. I myself like the original Blade Runner. I think the acting is terrible, and the sound is terrible. But the movie itself, I thought, was pretty decent.
I think the problem is that I read the book right before I watched the movie, and like the way that a lot of the characters are portrayed, and maybe it is just the acting, but like a lot of the scenes and stuff, I'm like, that's not what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And I felt I hate to be like one of those people, that's like, oh, the book's better, blah 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 blah.
Well,
but I'm like,
is.
it just made more sense in the book than it did in the movie, and I think that's because they have to take liberties because of time constraints. But there's a lot of like shit that happens. I'm like, why did they do that? And anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right.
I digress.
Next news point. So this one is fine. It's relevant to the podcast. Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2. Apparently, the developer Arrowhead. No, it's not Arrowhead. It's Focus. I believe, right?
No, Saber.
Ah, that's right. They're going to be getting the game's getting a revamp, and not a terrible revamp. Just a revamp to the connectivity issues that people were having online. LJ was on the podcast last week. Thanks again to LJ. And it's always tough to dial the audio in when we have more than one person on the podcast because you two share the same audio channel. So that gets a little tricky. So if you guys didn't, and the internet was kind of acting a little goofy too. So there were some parts on the audio podcast where it would stop and then replay. So apologies for some of those technical errors last episode. But LJ was saying he had tried to do some of the online shit for Space Marines 2, and there were some issues connecting. So Saber is going to go out, and they're revamping the connectivity issues for the online gameplay, and then also the AI bots during the online gameplay during the campaign to make them less passive. Not too aggressive, but maybe just a little less passive. And then also they're going to be doing some game balancing for the online part of the game. So they're, some of those tweaks are going to maybe be buffing up the melee and maybe refining some of the classes and how they work. So all good tune-ups, it sounds like. So that's good that Space Marines 2 is still doing well, but for anyone who's currently playing that game and you're having difficulty with the online stuff, you've been informed that they're going to be working on fixing some of that garbage for you all. So that
I haven't played the online, so I don't know anything about like the functionality of the netcode or whatever, but I feel like the AI companions in the campaign are pretty good. I mean, occasionally I guess you could see maybe wanting them to be a little bit more aggressive, but generally I think that they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
They distract the bad guys. They get them off you. They come help you when you're down immediately and all of that. And so I don't know.
Yeah, the one thing I really appreciate about the AI in the game is that anytime I have a chance to do an execution and build my shield back up, like the AI aren't doing it. Like they're not killing those guys. Like they're hurting them. They're leaving them so I can get to them.
Yeah.
I like that. Anyways.
Sometimes they will do the execution, but usually it's after the fucking bad guy's been sitting there a while.
Yeah.
So It's pretty cool. I am really impressed, honestly, with how well just the out of the box AI does help you from mission to mission, because usually they can be pretty bad.
They'll come
But
heal
I think
you
they
and stuff.
knew,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think that they knew that because a large contingent of their population was of their fan base was gonna play this single player, that they had to, if they were gonna force this kind of co-op style component to it, they were gonna have to make the AI good, and I think they delivered. So I gotta say, I'm relatively happy with
So
it.
do we know for sure if you can play the campaign with other people, or is it just those extra missions?
What's that?
The campaign itself. Can you play the
Yeah.
campaign with other people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could play the whole campaign with other people, or out after the intro mission where you're
Okay.
in the Death Watch.
Yeah. All right.
After that, you can play the whole campaign with other people, or you can do those extra
We
missions.
need to jump on and try that together. All right. Anyways, moving forward. Battlefield. There's a new screenshot of Battlefield going around. And as the internet does, which I don't know how they do, but they have been able to figure out the location where this fucking screenshot from Battlefield is from in real life. I don't know how you fucking figure this out. But anyways, it's apparently part of this game, the new Battlefield game, which is going to be set, I believe, a modern time, is going to be taking place in Gibraltar.
Gibraltar, huh?
Yeah, they figured this out. Something to do with like it being like a good go-between. I don't know if it's the Strait of Gibraltar or whatever, like for two countries, possibly warring nations, to be fighting over Gibraltar.
I just want them to get back to like a solid single player kind of campaign. Dude, freaking Battlefield, specifically Battlefield 3's campaign on PS3 was fucking awesome. And so was Battlefield 1
Yeah, the
when we
remake.
got it on PS4, the World War 1 version. That game was both of those campaigns were like Call of Duty level campaigns.
Nobody's done World War
And-
One better than that.
Yeah, it's really rad, and I want to see them get back to that, because they made this like multiplayer only experience in 2042, and I'm not gonna play it if that's all you give me.
Yeah, they're giving us something
So,
modern now, though, and I think that might be the ticket.
It might help.
Yeah, I think it will. Anyways, last news point is not a news point at all, Jake. The last news point, you and I are going to test our knowledge again real quick. Every once in a while, PushScore will post these quizzes, and we're going to take this quiz. It's 10 questions. Let's see how well Jake and I do. You can join the fun at pushsquare.com, and we're going to get into question number 1. So let me actually jot down the timestamp. We're going to say 103. There we go. Which of these developers is not part of PlayStation Studios as of 2024? Is it Arrowhead, Bluepoint, Santa Monica, or Insomniac? It's Arrowhead. You agree, Jake?
It's Arrowhead. Yep.
All right, correct. What is Tales of Arise's protagonist called? Is it Alphen, Andalbert, Arlan, or Athrun? Arlan sounds good.
Dude, I have no idea. I've never played this game, so
I'm gonna go.
it's like they're all A's and they're all medieval sounding. So just fucking pick
I'm
one.
going Arlan.
All right,
Nope, it's Alphen. Fuck.
nice.
Sorry. Which real-life U.S. agency does Max Payne work for in the first Max Payne game? Is he a drug enforcement agency? Is he FBI? Is he CIA or Department of Homeland Security? I think he's DEA.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Correct. What PS3 game is this picture from? I don't even know. It's a dude. It's either Rage, Brink, Quantum Theory, or Black Site Area 51.
Quantum Theory, maybe. It's not Brink and it's not Rage.
I'm going
so
Quantum Theory then. Correct.
nice.
Which of these Hollywood actors played a key role in the PS3 thriller Beyond Two Souls? Was it Gary Oldman, Willem Dafoe, Jeff Bridges, or Keanu Reeves? It's Willem Dafoe. No?
It is Willem Dafoe.
All right. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I almost thought Gary Oldman for a second, but it's not. It's Willem Dafoe.
Rockstar's Bully, also known as Canis Canem Edit in Europe, first released on which PlayStation console? 3, 1, 2, or the PSP? I think PS2.
PS2. Yeah.
All right. Good job. Pac-Man starred in a hit PS1 platformer in 99. What was it called? Super Pac-Man, Pac-Man World, Pac-Man 3D, or Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. PS1 platformer.
It's probably either Pac-Man World or Pac-Man 3D.
I was thinking Super Pac-Man. Let's go Pac-Man 3D. PS1, dude. That's when they started doing like Tekken and shit. That's probably Pac-Man 3D.
Yeah.
Ah, it's Pac-Man World. Fuck. We've missed two.
Damn.
This isn't a good round for us. The story of Dragon Age Inquisition revolves around a conflict between which two factions? Humans and elves, druids and council, mages and templars, or the dragonkin and demons? Isn't it humans and elves?
It's mages and templars.
Oh, okay.
Because you can choose whether you want to back the mages or you want to back the templars, and it like determines what kind of enemies you have to fight.
Okay. Correct. Good job. The PS4 action game Sifu. What happens to the protagonists each time they fall in battle? This is easy. They get older.
Yeah.
And Warhammer Space Marine 2 released for PS5 in 2024. But in what year did the first Space Marine game release on PS3? 2013, 2011, 2009, or 2008? Fuck.
It's 2011.
All right.
I already know the answer to that one.
Hell yeah. We're a PlayStation encyclopedia. Wow, you should get a job, Push Square. How many times are you going to tell us that? Good job. That was a fun quiz. That out of the way, let's talk about some new games coming to PlayStation here this week, and then we will be done with the show. A shorter show for this week, but a good one nonetheless. We don't want to waste your time. So September 23rd, ANNAPURNA on PS5. September 24th, Beyond Galaxyland, PS5, PS4. Bloomtown, A Different Story, PS5 and PS4. Control Alt Ego, PS5. Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, PS5, PS4. And Rusty Rabbit on PS5. September 25th, Zomb Farm, PS5, PS4. September 26th, we're getting 63 Days, PS5 and PS3. That sounds like that could be a mistake. Astria, Six-Sided Oracles on PS5, Cat Rescue Story, PS5, PS4, Crossbow Blood Knight, PS5, Earth Defense Force World Brothers 2, PS5, PS4, Exographer, PS5, Games Advent Calendar 2024, PS5, Go Mecha Ball, PS5, PS4, Iron Meat, PS5, and Monopoly on PS5. Also, September 27th, EA Sports FC 25, PS5, PS4, El Paso Everywhere, PS5, Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit, PS5, PS4, and Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports on PS5, PS4. None of this does anything for me.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, the only game on that list that I would probably even be interested in playing would be EA Sports FC 25.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of these other games are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Why are there so many games coming out this week?
Must have looked like
Iron Meat.
They were all waiting for Space Marine to come out and Astro Bob before they drop their shit.
What the fuck is Iron Meat?
And Arcade sounds cool, honestly. It's a cool name.
This game looks kind of weird. It's like Iron Meat looks like a Contra style game, which is interesting.
And Arcade looks like it's a multiplayer arena shooter, but it's pixel art.
Huh.
So
if you're into Contra, this Iron Meat game actually does look kind of interesting.
Iron Meat?
Yeah. But it's like it's kind of like a horror themed. It's pretty
fast-paced
pretty
running gun
interesting.
shooter that immerses players in a world overrun by the meat and all-consuming interdimensional biomass. That's funny. I miss the time when games were I would play just about anything. There's just too much shit out there now.
Yeah.
But it does.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is hard. But anyways, that's that for the new games coming out. Jake, do you have anything you want to talk about at closing here before we get going?
Um, I don't. I don't think so. I'm glad to be playing hockey again. I finished hanging all the drywall in my new office. I gotta finish it this weekend. I'm gonna start taping and mudding and doing all that stuff. I'm really not looking forward to it,
Yeah.
especially because I gotta do the ceiling. But I'll be excited for all that to be done and getting it all painted, because then we can do the shit that like I actually kind of enjoy doing, which is like the trim and the floor and like putting in the new, like I'm gonna build some shelves for it and everything. So like that stuff I actually enjoy doing, but like some of the shit like painting and crap like that, I don't know.
Yeah, I hear
I
that.
could, especially when doing the drywall. You got to freaking sand it all and refinish it a couple times, and so I don't know. You would think that they would make it like fucking easy.
Yeah.
Like, why is it so hard?
Right.
But it is. They haven't found a better way in freaking 60 years. They haven't found a better way to put walls up in a house than drywall. But hey, it's cheap.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. All right. Well, I've got nothing for the listeners, but thanks for tuning in to episode 344 of PS. This is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. We do appreciate our listeners tuning in, and we will be back again next week. We hope you enjoy the state of play. We'd like to hear you and your opinions on what you saw, because it will be over by the time you hear this podcast. Tune into our YouTube, leave us a comment, tell us what you thought of the state of play. Let us know what you're excited about, and let us know what you're going to pick up at the 30th anniversary PlayStation Direct. I don't know. Red Light Special. Let us know. With that out of the way. Yeah. All right. So, that out of the way. Like Ape Escape, Apex Legends, and Adrift. P.S.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.